Good morning, Coach, Captain. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. How have you been? It's been a while. What are you up to?
Oh, a bit of everything and nothing thanks to COVID-19. So,
Great,
yeah, we're happy to be alive anyway, so let's take it like that.
which is really important, right?
Exactly.
Health safety is number one. Now, what are you up to these days? I mean, we haven't heard from you for a while.
Well, I must be honest, since the COVID struck, I've really decided to take a low key and try to like enjoy what I find the most precious in my life, which have been my kids and my lovely wife. So
Awesome.
I've really I think the COVID just sent me on a reset button. Like, look, we are living life to let's enjoy every minute. So something like that.
Let's take it slow. And yeah, I think I can relate to what you're saying, Captain. But for you personally, are you looking to get back into coaching very soon? And do you have any other thing going on that you'd like our viewers to know about?
I'm just releasing my autobiography, which is scheduled to be released in 3 weeks, I think, on the 15th of April. It's entitled "The Audacity to Refuse." It kind of like covers the 16 years of my playing career, covers everything you want to know about the golden generation of the Super Eagles, the struggles we had to go through, the challenges we had to go through, in fact, all the hidden things that people didn't know in a positive way, without being vindictive. Just trying to like get a history to our countrymen so that we can now know what is the difference. The book itself is this. There was a time, anybody we came against as a country, Nigeria, they had sleepless nights. They had sleepless nights. They didn't know what the Super Eagles was going to bring at them. But now we are living a time now whereby anybody we come against this nation, we are the ones who have sleepless nights because we are worried, like we saw even when we played Sierra Leone. So, but I think the major problem we have back home is that even any well-meaning Nigeria doesn't know where to start from to get Nigeria's football back on track.
Right.
And it's because they are totally not aware of what we did or how we did it,
Right.
at least to use that as a foundation to build on and get things done. And this is what this book does. It gives out everything to
All right.
to us.
Okay, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this autobiography, and they can be very tricky as well. To you, that agree with me, Captain. And I just want to know how revealing it's going to be. How intimate are you really going to go all out and reveal a lot of these things that you just talked about?
Well, it's going to be intimate because for the first time, I think some people call me a recluse in the sense that I cherish my privacy a lot. And obviously, when I look at what's happening in the world today, I thank to God that I do that. You're going to look at, I'm going to share my childhood. You're going to see my childhood, how I grew up. You're going to see how I was blessed and you're going to even see the failures, the mistakes that I made.
Right.
That I regret but learned from. And you're also going to see some decisions that we took that today, when you look back, you say, thank God I took those decisions. Thank God we stood by this, It's a mixture, and you get to see also the hardship we suffered to make Nigeria what thanks to God, we made it to be. And you also have to see, you get to see all the intimacies, how we gelled as a group, how we quarreled as a group, how we disagreed. And also, I share for the first time the painful discrimination I had to go through also as a kid, like most Nigerian stars went through also, but probably they've not had the opportunity to share. The aim of the book is to share. I want my countrymen, and unfortunately the whole world will get to see it too, to see that, look, this is what we have to do to get back on track.
Okay, before we leave talking about this book now, I mean, on some of the topics you've talked about what you face, as a footballer, we're talking about racism, corruption, and if these are some of the issues, can you just shed more light on some of those things before we get to read the book in April?
Well, what I can tell you is that when I watched the video of Meghan and Harry,
Okay.
I watched it. I became emotional because those were the kind of things that I went through.
Mm.
And the thing that we get through is that, you see, as a colored man, is that when you encounter discrimination, the abuser tries to make the one that's been abused feel as if you are the one that something is wrong with. It is you who's wrong. It's you who's different. It's you that your color of the skin is not bright enough. It's those kind of things are things a lot of soccer players have gone through, and it's the things that Nigerians are still going through now at the moment. I share with you in the book. You see also how personally I had to go through with it, and you also see how we rebelled against it, and we were able to hold it up to a level that made us to be able to succeed. Otherwise, we would have failed. So,
all right, then. It's very interesting. I'm looking
yeah.
forward to seeing that book come out. Let's go on and talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria now. I mean, of course, there's no way you're going to come on the show and you're not going to talk about Nigeria's senior men's national team. He used to coach and he used to captain the side. So after 20 years, they're back in Lagos on March the 30th. They'll be taking on Lesotho in an AFCON qualifier. Tell us what's different about playing in Lagos compared to other locations for Nigeria.
Let's just say men play in Lagos and boys play outside of Lagos. Because if you look at Lagos, the Lagos fans are demanding, and rightfully so. In our time, I remember there were games that were leading 2-0, and they started to boo us and support the opponent.
Wow.
Why? Because they wanted more goals. They felt we were not dominant enough. So you have to be at your best to play there. And if you don't have, forgive my words, I know there are ladies there. If you don't have balls, you can't play at the national stadium.
Wow.
It's like that. But there is an advantage to it. The advantage to it is that you always bring your A game when you come to play for Nigeria. And you know that you have to play well. And it's not a luxury playing for Nigeria. It has to be a honor to wear the green, white, green.
Absolutely.
That is what my generation had, and that is what the generation after 2002 did not have anymore. Some of those things you will see in the book. The thing that is, there's a difference when you come to play for Super Eagles. You have to serve the country. You have to serve. You have to give something. And we were fortunate to have that mentality, but our family is now benefiting from it, because when you hear the name Amokachi, it brings respect.
Yeah.
When you hear the name of Eshi, it brings respect. Well, if I'm modest enough, if you hear the name of Oliseh, it brings respect. Now, I am not benefiting from it only. My brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, they are all benefiting from it. That you cannot buy with money. And those are the things that I feel that serving Nigeria is not something to discuss. That's why when I coached Super Eagles, the first thing I told them was, if you're not playing in the first division in anywhere in the world, forget Super Eagles. Because the best has to play here. And some felt, oh no, that means it's bad business for us. Our players cannot play in Super Eagles. Yeah, but Super Eagles is not a business avenue. It's a national duty. But when you look at it like that, some will say, oh no, you're controversial, you're too hard-headed. No, this is how the Europeans do it. That is why they succeed. And our people deserve better. And all these things you will see in the book. You will see how it is explained out in the book, how we did it with dates, time, so that nobody can say it's fabricated. No. There are dates, there are times we play the games, players who were on the bench, those who started, those who did this, those who did that, and how the players were united to bring Nigeria success. So
interesting. I mean, when you went back as far as saying that we've not really had the kind of team we had as far back as 2002, that's a long time ago. Now, you're saying the crop of players we have right now are really not good enough. And if they're not good enough, how can the coach actually get more good players? Because I think right now we literally have the best in Europe, despite the fact that you have some playing in second division.
No, I'm not saying, don't get me wrong. Okay. Thank you for asking the question, because it's very important. I'm not saying the Nigerian players are not good enough. No. Okay. I'm just saying that the atmosphere that they are working under does not bring out the best from them. And I'm also saying that the demands that we have, the qualifications you have to have to play for the Super Eagles, the bar has been reduced. We as a nation now are now happy with mediocrity. We celebrate even third place in Africa. No, when you are Nigeria, you are the best. You don't celebrate even second. That was why when we lost the 2000 Nations Cup in Nigeria, I just couldn't take it. In fact, for the first time, I lost emotional control. I wept because in front of our people, we have to give them the cup. You know, this is how I see it. It's not that the atmosphere is not there. The current Super Eagles, they have good players. But if you look at the time when Nigeria was dominant, I used to play against Taribo in his club side. You get to play against JJ Okocha in his club side because he was in the top team, I was in the top 10. When you put on the television Champions League on Tuesday, I will watch my countryman playing on Tuesday. I am playing on Wednesday. This was what you had at Super Eagles. You will see Daniel, doing good in UK. You see, you see big stars like Babayaro doing great at Chelsea. Now, if you look at it that way, we don't have a lot of players playing at the top at the moment. In fact, the most solid player we have now is Ndidi. And, because he has got it all as a player. We need more like that. To get that into Nigerian football, we have to start back and get that league back in order. Otherwise, forget it.
Okay.
All right.
Because we still have load soon and there's still Skype interview.
Coach, before we let you go, finally, we'll be facing Lesotho and, of course, Benin Republic. That's our last two games before qualifying for the Nations Cup. And we know that usually we're qualifying with a game to spare, which we're celebrating, which, of course, it's not really like that's how Nigeria should be. But we are celebrating it because usually we qualify with a game to spare. We have Lesotho and we have Benin Republic. And, of course, Paul Onacho was just called into the team to replace, someone who cannot be around. So what do you make of all these, and how can they approach this game to just qualify without we having, another headache, especially with what happened against Sierra Leone in Benin City?
Well, you are as good as your preparations. We have to prepare well. If you don't prepare to win, you're going to lose. And that is one thing that has to be done also. But at the same time also, this is what I was talking about, us celebrating mediocrity. With all due respect, who is Lesotho, who's Benin? We have to. Those are not games we should look about in those days. Those were the kind of games that people like Ekini are counting to score 3 goals. So it's not something that we should be talking about. What we should look at it is this point of view, in the sense that the African football itself has taken a nudge, and at the same time also the format is now enlarged. At our time, we had only the 12 best African countries going to the African Nations Cup. So you imagine, out of 53 nations, 12 had to qualify. So every game was totally difficult from the onset on. But now it's enlarged. So that gives room for lesser solid teams and also gives room for more countries to showcase themselves on the scene itself, good and also bad in a way. So as Nigeria, when you're looking at it from that point of view, you're not looking for success. Africa should not be where we should be vying for. The reason why I'm writing this book is now, this is 25 years since we won the last and the most prestigious title ever won by any African nation. That was the Olympics gold. We are celebrating this. It is the Silver Jubilee today, this year. Nobody's talking about it. This is the time we should be celebrating. We were so great that we dominated the world, not at kids level, but at adults level. And it's a title. So in that way, when you look at it from that point of view, this is the direction we should be looking at if we want to succeed. And I am hoping that by this book, it's 350 pages long because it covers 16 years of football and it's detailed. Hopefully, when you look at this book, then we can borrow from it and say, okay, this is how they did it then. Now let's do it maybe like this and even make it better. So that is how you should look at Super Eagles.
All right. Thank you so much, Sunday Oliseh, for talking to us this morning.
You're always welcome, my dear. Take care and God bless.
Cheers.
I'm here. All right.